Hey everybody, Blake and Collin here. Today we're going to be talking about color. We have noticed that there is a lot of tensions, some challenges with how we communicate color, what we're seeing from campus to campus to campus, what we're seeing from broadcast to campus. And so today we're just going to add a little bit of unity. We're going to add some clarity. We're just going to put everybody on the same page, give everybody the same process so that if you feel like your lavender is different from somebody else's lavender, from broadcast lavender, we're all going to be in the same realm together. It may not be exact, and we're about to get into all that, but it's going to be a lot more clarifying and unifying. So what we did is we made a process that is just going to bring more unity and clarity to everything. We went in, we took your current color preset selection, we put it in a Pro Presenter bundle, we threw every single color on Grants Mills LED wall when we went through the broadcast color palette library, and we matched every color the way we see it on our LED wall. And I think it cleaned up a lot of stuff on our rig instantly. But that going through that process helped us realize, okay, well now we can unify, because what we're doing is we're sending out the same content. We're sending out the same jump backs to everybody. But what's going to be different is your screens, what surface you're watching it on. And we're not going to tell you to modify anything in Resolume with a jump back or anything, but we are going to ask you to modify your lights. And we feel like we just kind of kept doing that. So we finally figured out, oh, if we just put one color on the screen, then we can start matching there. And now we're going to get unity across the board. So Collin, explain to us this process that we're about to be rolling out to the campuses.
Yeah, of course. So like you said, we sat down in y'all's room at Grants Mill. And because at the heart of it all, you and Griffin are sitting there week in and week out, and y'all are picking content off of how it looks on y'all's screen.
Exactly.
And obviously with it in mind about how it translates to campuses, but we're hoping that this will kind of bridge that gap and help us just be a little more unified in that as well.
Exactly.
Because y'all are seeing the content on y'all's screen, and even down to creative, they come into y'all's room as well, and they check content for series, for generic, for all of it. And we're sending out the exact same file, but your screen doesn't translate the same way as a screen at every other campus.
Exactly.
We're hoping that this process will help bridge the gap between the difference that we see on y'all's screen versus what we see at a campus, just the translation of color.
Exactly.
So whenever we sat down and went through the whole color palette, and we put each and every color just as one full graphic up on the wall, and decided, what is this supposed to look like? What does it look like with y'all's wall? Yeah. And then, so then now what we're going to do is we're going to take the exact same files, the same Pro bundle, send it out to each one of y'all, and then from there, y'all get to put it on y'all's wall and immediately have that, rather than having to translate within a graphic of which blue am I looking for? It's just, hey, this is the color. And so then you can match your lights to that graphic, to this 16:9 of just the color. And then from there, we're hoping that while every room may not be exactly the same, if you're looking at a picture in Gadsden, in Tuscaloosa, in Auburn, but at the end of the day, the lights should then match the graphic.
Exactly.
And then we're hoping that that'll, because I think that's the biggest tension point, right?
Yeah, if I send out CTO for the recent Roman series, we're seeing everything from deep orange to light white. And so we're trying to figure out, okay, who's going wrong where? And now we're just going to bring in this clarity of, okay, well, if we say CTO, this is the CTO, this is the context that we're going through moving forward. And what I love about this is we're not sending out RGB values. We all have different RGB values on different fixtures across the board. What we're just sending out is just reference values. We're not telling you, hey, it has to be red 100, blue 98, whatever. We are saying, hey, this is the color that we would like to try to achieve. Do your best with your human eye to achieve that color. And I think across the board, we are going to see just a better unity at our campuses with our jump backs, with our art selection, with everything, so that there's not this massive gap whenever we're seeing some of this feedback roll back through to us.
For sure. All right, so to start off, I'm gonna go ahead and select teal in our ProPresenter bundle. Go ahead and throw that up on our screen. Next, I am going to grab my first fixture type. So let's just start with profiles right here at the top. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn them on to 100.
Okay, so I'm seeing haze right now. Do we want to do this with haze on or off?
Oh yeah, for sure, haze on. The reason for that is what we are actually looking to match to. So the profiles, their main purpose is to output that nice beam, a nice crisp beam, whether it's with a gobo, whether it's open, but you're not so much really looking at the face of the fixture, you're looking at the beam that it's outputting. Once you get into like washes, like moving washes, you kind of get in some mixed territory where you do see, the bigger face, but you're also looking at the beam that's being cast off of it. But then even like your band light is, you want to obviously think about the beam in the ceiling because you don't want it to be like with all these other fixtures that are casting these different colors, but at the same time you want to think about how it's casting actually onto like your band members.
Exactly.
Because you don't want that to be a completely different color either and be like just a weird environment of just mismatched colors.
Exactly.
So starting off with the profiles, since we have haze in the room now and we can see the nice beam, we can match with the beam.
Great.
So starting off with profiles, we're gonna go ahead and hit teal. Okay. So now, first thought, I feel like there's too much blue in this.
I agree with you. It looks more like cyan to me.
I completely agree. So from there, I'm going to go ahead and look down here on my encoder bar. You might, your encoder bar might default to, being, on dimmer, for instance. That's kind of usually where it defaults since it's number 1.
Yeah.
So if it's on dimmer and you need to get to color, all you do is just tap the color, tab in the encoder bar.
Great.
And then now we have RGB encoders, which is red, green, blue.
Yep.
So since we said there's too much blue in there, we're just gonna go ahead and pull some of that out and get maybe here-ish. Okay, now I'm feeling like maybe there's a little too much green in that.
I would agree. I think there's too much green.
Okay, so maybe we pull it back up a little bit, add a little bit more green. Get maybe somewhere in that territory.
I like that. I think that's going to work for us.
Okay, cool.
So right now what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the output on the stage. I'm looking at the beams surrounding the screen.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm gauging as trying to match to that center screen color of teal. Now that teal looks different than my ProPresenter right now. And I'm looking at a reference monitor. It looks the teal that I'm seeing on our profiles looks different than what I'm seeing in the room. So right now what I want to communicate is that we're aiming for the human eye experience way more than a camera, than a PTZ cam, than that experience, because there's a lot of lensing. Even for this video, there's a lot of lensing, there's a lot of editing that's going to go through what your final product's going to be. But whenever you're in your room, whenever you're at your ProPresenter computer, whenever you're at your lighting console, you are aiming for matching your screen, matching your lights, however y'all, whether you're looking at beam, output, however, you're matching for your human eye to be like, okay, that's right. These are as close as I can humanly get them to the same color. And that's what we're trying to achieve here.
Yeah, so I'm not matching what's on my ProPresenter laptop.
Exactly.
I'm matching what's on my actual screen in the room.
Exactly.
So like the attendees experience.
Exactly.
Basically. Yeah.
And we're not matching to what this video is showing either. We're matching to what we have sent y'all in the context. This is the key to this video. The context of what your room is trying to display out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right.
So sweet, jumping back in. We got teal. You said you like this?
I like this. I like this. So we did profiles just now. What do we do next?
Okay, so I think safest bet would be go ahead and just store this so we don't lose it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go ahead and hit my store key.
Great.
Right here in my console. And this is a similar process to if you were storing a queue, but instead of storing into a queue, we're gonna store into a preset. So I'm gonna hit store, and I'm gonna go ahead and just tap my teal preset. So then it asks, are you wanting to store to preset 5 teal? It's like, yes, I do. So I'm gonna hit merge. Very important there. You wanna hit merge because you don't want to overwrite all the other data that's in there.
Correct.
You wanna just merge back in and just change what you've changed.
Exactly.
So we're gonna hit merge right there. And then we're gonna clear out our programmer. And then now, whenever I turn my profiles back on and turn them to teal,
Same color.
they match great.
Great.
So next off, we can go ahead and move to washes.
All right, so with wash lights, we're looking at both the beam and the actual output of what the face is displaying. So I'll go ahead and walk us through it. So teal, definitely closer to cyan right here.
Definitely, a lot of blue. A lot
of blue. Gonna need to work that blue out.
Okay.
All right. So I would say that's good right there.
Okay.
Look, but I'm looking at the face. And we got to look at the beam as well.
Okay.
Sometimes doing this, it helps if we zoom them in. Let's zoom them in.
Let's do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit my zero zoom preset right there.
You get
Yeah,
a
I
lot
can see
more
that beam a
output.
little bit better.
Yeah. What do you think about this color, Collin? Any thoughts on if we need to modify?
It might have a little too much blue. Maybe,
Okay.
maybe a little less.
All right.
Would be nice. What do you think?
Yeah, let's work it down. I mean, and here's another thing. We are RGB R0 G100 B41 currently. Where we ended up with the profiles on the last, I noticed that our blue value was like closer to 16, maybe 11. It was way lower, but like that's just the way the fixtures are.
Yep.
So, and it was different fixture types based off of profile with a CMY engine, RGB with an RGB engine. You've just got to take all these factors and I'm sorry, all right, I'm getting into the engineer's brain. But you just got to take all these factors in. It's like, it doesn't matter how the light was built. What is it actually showing? And right now it shows a little too much blue. So let's get a little bit of that blue out of there.
Okay, great. Yep. So pull a little bit of that out. And I feel like we're getting into comfortable territory there. What do you think?
I like it. I like it. Let's go ahead and store. So I'm going to walk us through this again. So we're going to store. We're going to tap teal.
Yep.
So let me ask this question. We turn the light on. We put dimmer information in there. We put focus information in there.
Yep.
Should we be worried that we're going to store focus and dimmer information into this preset?
No, so not in, I'm going to hit cancel and actually show you this. So not in our color pool, because the color pool, so pool 4 is only storing color value. So you can actually watch whenever I do store this, that the color value will kind of gray out a little bit, but the dimmer and focus value will be fully there, because every pool will only store its respective information. So color will only store color, position will only store position, gobo only go, so on and so on.
Yeah.
So I can go ahead and store right here, hit merge, so we can see that those kind of grayed out a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I go to my dimmer, it's still fully active.
It's still active. Okay.
It's still fully active. So we don't have to worry about any of that.
But if we didn't store that into that color pool and we stored that into a queue, it would take all that value into that queue, correct?
Yes, it would take all the value. Yeah, so that only works in respective to, or in context to its respective pool.
Gotcha.
If it's going anywhere like a queue, queues take all information. So any information that's in your programmer, it's going to go in that queue.
Gotcha.
If you're storing into an all pool, like where your effects kind of live, it's going to take all that information. So very important to just make sure that you're in the proper pool.
That's good. That's good to know.
So I'm going to clear that out now, and then now our teal should be good.
I like it. Let's turn both fixture types on, and let's see how they compare, because technically they should look alike.
Yep. So I'll grab both my profiles and my washes.
Okay.
Put them both teal. Turn them on.
Look at that.
And that's pretty good.
Now
pretty good.
sometimes when we did this at Grants Mill, we sat there for a long time. But we noticed we would do one fixture type at a time, and then we would turn the other fixture type on, get that one would set.
Yep.
But then we would be like, I like the profile, but I don't like the wash here.
Yep.
And then we modify. That's okay. You just don't want to make sure you're not storing over each other to where you move the profiles a little bit, and then you move the wash, and then you store, and then you don't even have what you originally got. You don't want to be wasting your time, basically.
Yeah. And I think the cool thing about this software is the fact that I can grab both my profiles and my washes and put them both teal, and then now you can see that these kind of are yellow now on the top. So what I can do is I can actually just click just my washes. Now the profiles aren't even like technically selected anymore in a way, or they're still selected, but they're kind of in like a background selection.
Yeah.
So now I am only changing my washes now. So the value that I gave to the profiles, which was teal, now I'm only changing my washes if I start to change stuff here. And so then I can change, just let's say I added all that back in. Obviously that's not the color we're going for, but as an example, we're adding all that color back in. Now I can click store, teal, merge, and it still has all that background information from the profiles being teal. So it's not actually changing any of that data. It's only changing the washes.
Great.
So anything that basically what you don't change won't change. That's pretty much what it is. So.
Perfect. Well, let's oops back because I didn't like that.
Okay, great. So I'm just gonna hold down the oops button, look back here, store preset 4.5, hit oops. We're back to where we are, and we'll just clear out that. So we're not even touching it anymore.
Exactly.
And then we'll double check it. Let's see, teal, turn them on.
Love it.
Perfect, love it.
Great. Let's do one more color.
Okay, great. What you want to do?
Let's do CTO. I think that one's a little bit of a more difficult one to dial in sometimes because it's not as dramatic as RG and B. So let's go for something like CTO. Oh, I love this color.
It's a good color. So that's full CTO right there. I'll grab my profiles, turn them on.
Okay.
And then let's go ahead and just kind of see where this is currently sitting.
All right.
Little pinkish, right?
A lot of red. a lot of red in there.
Okay. So what you thinking? What should we do here?
I mean, with a color like CTO, oh man, it's hard. So this is a great example. We're saying there's a lot of red right now, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to remove red because the way color theory works right here is with a color like CTO, you want a lot of that red in there because that's what's giving you that more amber color.
Yeah.
So
what does CTO mean?
That's a highly debated topic. I'm going to just being honest.
Okay.
Depends who you ask.
Okay.
I have always known it as correct to orange.
Correct to orange. Okay. I always heard color temperature orange, but we're still in that orange family though.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're going for ish, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, CTO also is a version of amber. It's not amber. Don't think you can select amber and pull all that saturation out. It's not going to look exact. You want that version of orange, but what amber and orange have a lot of is red. So you don't want to start by pulling out that red. Let's go ahead and start by adding more green, adding more blue.
Okay. So I'll add some green here.
Okay. And we're getting closer, right out of the gate with adding that green. Okay. So red and green 100 make amber, right? We're going back to kindergarten, right? Is that how that worked? I don't remember.
Yeah, red and green 100 technically I think would more make yellow, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh man.
You go back to pre-K.
Yeah. I was homeschooled.
Same, honestly. Okay, so right here we got red 100, green 72, blue 46-ish. What are you kind of thinking? You thinking?
I'm liking it. So here's what I'm noticing. I'm really liking the floor where the beam is hitting, but I'm not loving the actual beam right now.
I agree. It feels very
it feels off-white.
Unsaturated. Yeah.
Yes.
It's very closer to white.
Yeah. So let's figure out how to get a little bit more of that in there.
Okay. Let's see. So I think so if we continue to add green and blue, it's only going to make it more desaturated.
Correct.
So maybe at this point we should start backing some other things down.
Yeah.
So we'll back that green back down a little bit, back the blue down, and then let's maybe back that red down and see where we start getting. Okay, getting a little further away from it. So let's bring that red back up. Maybe pull a little green out.
Let's take that red back to 100.
Okay.
Sometimes when you get into a process like this, and if y'all are wondering, we are really doing this for real. This is not planned.
This is 100% real.
Yeah, we messed these colors up right before we started, and I said we'll figure it out as we go. So let's take the blue to 0. Let's take the green to 50.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it easy. I mean, so you can roll the wheel down, or you can just tap right there on the screen where that number is, and I'm gonna say 0 right there.
Great.
And
all right. Yeah.
Please.
Now we hit amber.
Okay. Yep.
So let's go ahead and roll that green up a little bit.
Okay.
Stop right there. And let's add a little bit of blue. Let's go up to 25% blue just to see where this gets us a baseline at.
Okay. Yeah.
And so now we're starting to paint to that color. See, that's what you want to do. You want to just find these whole numbers. That's how I would kind of compare them. It's kind of like whenever you're counting money, you want it to be by 5s, by 10s, or by 20, hopefully by 100s. But you can cut that. But with that, you're looking for whole numbers, and you're trying to match these whole numbers to where you like can get some baselines to be like, okay, I took all my blue out. What does that look like? Oh, I'm further from where I want to be. Let me add some back. Let me add 25% back, or something like that.
Yeah, and it is a process. Like,
it's a process.
Like we said, like this is 100% real time. Like we're trying to figure out, okay, how do we get that color? So like, it's not going to be, it may not be the easiest thing. Just be like, all right, that's like the teal was, super easy to be like, it's way too blue. Take some blue out. Oh, it's great. But like colors like CTO, like they live in a weird territory where you don't like, you want to get the color and you want to be true to it, but you don't want it to be overly saturated or undersaturated.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have our CTO for our profiles, go ahead and dialed in. I'm gonna go ahead and store it again. So again, store, tap my preset. Are you storing a CTO? Yep. Merge right there. Clear up my programmer, and let's go ahead and grab wash. So we need to do those too. Turn those on. Grab CTO. Again, maybe a little not saturated enough.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm missing, but I'm missing something.
Okay.
That's what I feel like. That's a lot of whenever we do something like this, doesn't matter what, new stage change, new campus, new whatever, I always start with some preset colors, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm missing, but I feel like I'm missing something. And so that's when you start taking things out, moving some values around, just finding where you want to be.
Yeah. So let's take that blue out maybe. So
Yep.
Closer. May get a little too in the amber territory, so maybe add a little bit blue back.
Yep.
Okay. So it's you're gonna have to kind of teeter totter, find just right.
Let's add a little bit more blue. Let's go ahead and drop green down to 25 just for fun.
25. Okay.
Yep.
Let's have fun.
And then let's take blue to 75.
Okay.
Yep, we're just gonna, okay, so far off base of where I want to be. So swap those values.
Okay. 75.
Yep.
And 25.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Pretty much where we were, but it lets me figure out, okay, so I don't need less green. I need more blue.
Okay. So add a little bit blue to that. So I'll give it 3, 4, 5% maybe.
I would give it 10%.
10%. Okay. How's that?
Give me 5 more percent.
5 more percent. Okay.
Okay. Right now I'm seeing. All right. Let's do a zoom of 0. That way we can see what our beams are seeing. Okay. What do you think of this? I feel like we're a lot closer to where we are.
I agree. Yeah, I think we're a lot closer. Let me think. I let my haze die a little bit too much. I'm having a little trouble seeing now, so we need to make sure that we have enough in here. All right, so now we've added a little bit more haze, so we can see our beams a little bit better. Let's go ahead and store CTO if we like it. We're good?
Yeah, I love it.
Great, cool.
Now that I can see it, I love it.
Yep. So go ahead and store right there. Clear it out. Now let's jump into some more our pars, our vocal band backlight, all the things. So I'll go ahead and grab band and vocal backlight and turn those to 100.
Yeah. So right now what we're seeing, because we have the haze, we have these rush pars. Not everybody has rush pars. Everybody's got a little bit of something different. We can zoom these down a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure. We definitely can.
To help us see the beams. But what is our goal? What are we trying to see? We're trying to see output, right?
Yeah, so we're trying to see what is really casting onto, again, like if you look at the names, they're vocal backlight and band backlight. So they are backlighting the band, backlighting the vocals. And so we want to make sure that we are kind of looking at what that's doing, on people's shoulders and kind of even on their heads. Obviously, if they wear different colors,
part of the game.
It's part of the game. It is what it is. But we want to try to match as best as we can. So maybe we look at more looking at the stage than anything. But obviously, since they make up a large portion of our rig, we kind of want to find that balance between what's casting on the stage and what's in the air, right?
Maybe grab a friend. Maybe grab a friend, have somebody go stand in for a little bit, come adjust the color, stand in again. Just kind of, you want to gauge to see what this is going to be as real as it can get. And with something like band light, I will be honest, I will confess, sometimes stuff like this gets on the back burner for me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, I'll get that right eventually. I'll dial it in during rehearsal. If you have the time, if you can do it, you just need to make it all right, because that's what we're just trying to do here. We're just trying to make it all right all over again. So let's dial this color in. So where are we at?
Great. So we got our band and vocal backlight. So I'll go ahead and same way, hit CTO.
Great.
we look at it, and what are you feeling off the top of your bat? Maybe a little yellow?
It looks a little yellow. It looks a little yellow the way it's hitting the stage. If I'm looking at the beam right now, I feel like, oh man, we hit it. We knocked it out of the park on our first try. But looking at the stage, looking at maybe if it's hitting somebody, I'm not loving it. I'm just gonna, the way I'm seeing it hit a mic stand over here and some of these lights and all that, I'm not loving it.
A little yellow, maybe a little orangish. Might be a better way to say it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So what you think? Adding a little blue?
add a little blue. Let's add a little blue. Just a little bit, just to get a little bit more white in there.
Okay. That was a couple percent right there. Maybe
Yeah.
like 5%.
I think that's a lot closer to what we were trying to do. I like it. So let's go ahead and store that up and figure that one out.
Great. So we'll store right here. It merged again the same way. Now let's see what it all looks like together.
Yeah,
right?
let's do it.
So obviously we have a few other fixtures we can go through, but we don't have all day, and that would take a while. So I'll go ahead and just grab.
Budget your time. It's going to take a while.
It'll take a while. So we'll go ahead and grab profiles, washes, vocal backlight, and band backlight. Turn them all on. And we can see directly off the bat, this is something I just wanted to touch on. These whites, at least, I'm not sure what y'all can see on the camera, but these whites, every fixture type looks different right now. So want to stress that these fixture types, they all mix differently. So your values are going to be probably drastically differently. So like even this white is like, I see anywhere from like a purplish lavender to like a almost like light green to a nearly true white. So just don't look so much at the values when you're trying to match all these. Look at what the light is outputting.
Exactly.
So now let's go ahead and hit CTO.
All right.
What you think?
So right out of the gate, like I just said, the faces of the band backlight, the rush bar, it's not adding up to the faces of everything else.
Yep.
But you got to remember, that's not what we're looking at. On the floor, in the air, I love all of this. I think this is pretty much ideal for what we're doing. I do notice a little difference between our profiles and our wash lights. Real quick, let's do the wash. Let's put them as a zoom of 0 just to see what we're working with.
So I'll grab just my washes. Now it's kind of done that whole isolated programmer thing again.
Yep.
So zoom is 0.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we have a little too much green in our profiles.
I completely agree. I was thinking about the same thing.
Yeah.
So take a little bit of green out of those.
Well, we're in our wash right now. We got to make sure we select our profiles.
Oh, you said profiles. Okay.
Yeah.
So grab our profiles. Okay. So we'll take out a little green.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Okay. We good with that?
I like it. Let's do it.
Sweet. All right. Do we want to see this at a wider zoom, like the washes or the profiles or
Let's
anything?
look at it through a couple different contexts. Let's change some positions up. So storing values, I do like this downstage edge, downstage wide positioning, but I do want the context of some of the other positions just to see, okay, well, does it change any? Does the lensing of the wash light change whenever it's tilted in a little bit more?
Gotcha.
So yeah, let's change some zoom and some position presets.
So you think maybe we just send profiles to 75 maybe?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do washes at 50, 100?
Yeah, let's do
What'd you
50.
50? Okay. So we'll do that, and then I'll go ahead and grab, let's see if my washes, let's go X1 maybe.
Love it.
And then we can go profiles X2, facing the opposite direction.
Great. Yep. Now,
What'd you feel?
I think it's great. Everybody's stage is a little different. Every campus stage is a little different. Here at Greystone, things are a little bit more shallow. But compared to a room like Gadsden, like Fultondale, that have some of these taller rooms, longer stages, that's some of these positions you really kind of want to look into and be like, okay, maybe it does look a little different, or maybe it doesn't. But whenever you're dialing it in, you really want that downstage wide position. That way you can just see, okay, here's the light coming at me. I will also say this: you don't want to do this with the lights pointed in your eyes.
Oh, for sure not.
I've seen it done before, and I think they're blind now.
Yeah, I'd also highly encourage on that. Like I do this whenever I'm color matching a room, is I will go through my whole palette, or even a portion of my palette, and like your eyes, they get adjusted to these certain colors, especially like as you're going through like the green family and then the blue family, the purple, and like each different like color type family. So get up, walk away for 5 minutes, walk outside. Honestly,
see the sun.
Yeah, go see the light. Like, you let your eyes adjust to the normalcy of just general colors in life, and then come back in and reassess where those colors are. That's a big thing.
That's really good.
I had to do it even whenever we were at Grand Smith. I said, all right, I need a minute, and so I walked out, came back, and we looked at some more colors. I was like, that just doesn't add up.
That's good.
Just
good
make
advice.
sure you are taking that time. So I like this though.
Great.
So
Let's store it up.
Store. Okay, great. So store, CTO, merge, and again, all of our other data from position to dimmer to focus, none of that stored because we only stored in our color palette.
Great.
Now we can clear it out, and I mean, I think that's good. I think that
I love it. All right, so we got CTO pretty much where we like it. Let's go to a primary color like red.
Okay, red. Let's see. Pull up red on ProPresenter over here.
So theoretically, we're dealing with RGB values.
Yep.
Is it going to be as easy as putting red to 100, G to 0, and B to 0?
Theoretically, it is, and
Let's see it.
Some fixtures it might be.
All right.
Let's start with our profiles.
All right,
So send them on, send them to red.
great.
Okay. Right off the bat, I see that it might feel a touch orange in comparison to what's on the wall,
Yep.
but it is very, very close.
Yeah.
And because we have it as, like you said, 100 red, 0 green, 0 blue, there's not much else we can really do. Like, you can't take out any more yellow. There's no green to take out. So
And if we try to take more red out, we're just going to end up with black eventually, right?
yeah, if I just like roll this all the way down, it's basically at this point like decreasing brightness in a way.
It's
but
non-existent.
it's not. Yeah, it's just there's nothing there.
Great.
So we do 100 red,
Yep.
and
I
I
think
say
we're
like
good.
we re-roll with it. So with that,
There are some of these colors, like these primary colors, red, green, and blue, that you're at the mercy of the lighting fixture.
Yeah.
Like you can't get around some of it without really doing some math or something. Whereas like some of these other colors like CTO, where you're painting with it, you're saying, okay, we need a little bit more of this, we need a little bit less of this. And you're figuring out, okay, where can we get this color to match? But like I said, some of these primary colors, they are just not gonna be as easy to play with.
Yeah, they just don't have the range to go higher or lower. Because
Exactly.
they're already as low as they can go.
Exactly.
So if we look at our washes, red.
Love it.
yeah, great. And then vocal and band backlight, look at those, red.
Love it.
Great. And so then, I mean, all of them together, red.
Yep.
I mean, it makes red.
And this should be the only time on a Church of the Highlands stage
Yep.
that you see a red stage like this.
Yeah.
When you're dialing your colors in,
screen.
I'm, as somebody who picks the jump backs occasionally,
Yeah.
I'm not picking this jump back.
No?
No. I'm going to hear some feed. You're going to get it changed by your second service. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that.
It would be gone by, it probably be gone by, halfway through the song, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I think that's relatively it, man.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
I don't think so. I just want to reiterate what we're aiming for is we're trying to match to the context of your room.
For sure.
We can't control how an LED wall, a TV screen, a projector, whatever other X factor wants to come into play to change a variable in this room of the way we interpret color. We're going to do our best to just interpret with what we were given, and the constant that we figured out was those jump backs, that art, these videos that we're sending y'all, because that's something we're not going to ask you to modify, but we are asking you to modify these colors so that we can get more unity, so that we can get more clarity just across the board, so that there's less tensions, less irritants that we're feeling. And thank you, Collin, for coming up with all this with the ProPresenter bundle. I mean, that pure genius, honestly. I was not there.
It came to mind one
you.
day. I was like, what would happen if we just threw these colors up on the wall?
I love it.
And just see what happens.
I love it.
So, no, thank you all for taking the time and,
Sitting down to dial us in. We're hoping that this will be good and that it'll give us a nice trajectory forward. But again, if we have to shift, we appreciate y'all being flexible with it.
Yes,
So,
yes.
So,
We cannot thank y'all enough. Both to the campus team, any dream team that are a part of this process. Y'all are what makes this amazing. It doesn't matter how good the console is, doesn't matter how good these videos are, any presets. It is what y'all that make the magic, and and we cannot do it without you, and we don't want to do it without you. We love y'all. We're grateful for y'all. If y'all have any questions, reach out. We want this to be as much of a learning opportunity, a growing opportunity, and just something that we can all benefit from in the long run. Hopefully, we can get this rolled out to y'all soon. Love y'all.